So ordered.
Chair, for referral to the Government Relations, Ethics, and Transparency Committee are Resolution 23-234, indemnifying HERMAN ANDAYA in AMIR, HOSSEIN, SHEIKHAN, etc. et al. Versus Hawaiian Electric Industries, etc. et al. Civil number 2 CCV 23-0000260, and Resolution 23-235, authorizing the employment of Special Counsel Ronald T. Ogomori, Attorney at Law, a law corporation, to represent HERMAN ANDAYA in AMIR, HOSSEIN, SHEIKHAN, etc. et al. Versus Hawaiian Electric Industries, etc. et al. Civil number 2 CCV 23-0000260.
Members, any objections to referring these resolutions to the Great Committee?
No objection.
Member Paulton.
I would like to move to file these resolutions. I think, if I'll get a second, I'll explain.
Second.
Moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Member Johnson, to file the two resolutions read by the clerk. Discussion, Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. I heard loud and clear from my committee, and indemnification can be offered at any time. And if you folks remember, I did schedule a meeting to find out the things that were going on in the EOC and from the fire and police, and they never did show up. And so, I don't feel comfortable offering indemnification at this time. I think it's premature. And I also feel that, members of my community, members of my family, friends, neighbors, whatever, they lost everything. And it just isn't palatable to be paying lawyers' fees until the investigations have totally cleared this individual from any wrongdoing. We're taking these actions blindfolded. So until such time that the investigations clear these people, I'm not entertaining this. I'm listening to my community.
Okay, thank you. Any more discussion? Member Rollins-Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. I have a question, I think maybe for Corporation Counsel, regarding. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, okay. I'm actually not familiar with this process. And does it require council approval?
No, the action to be taken is actually referral to committee. So we're not voting on these resolutions. However, is Corp Counsel on the line?
Yeah. Oh, my question, I know like a resolution requires action if we want to adopt it, but my question is, indemnification, does it require council to agree with the mayor to indemnify? Is that the process? My question is about the process.
Okay, Corp Counsel on the line. Anybody see Corp Counsel?
Like settlement, like legal settlement.
Yeah, we got the question.
Okay.
We're just looking for Corp Counsel.
Sue is saying that she's having trouble.
And who's that?
Our Corporation Counsel.
Oh,
Takayasu.
Victoria? Tori? He's saying that? Okay.
Yes, in the chat.
Chair,
yes.
OCS step in and answer the question. I think.
Wonderful. Mahalo, Director Ratz.
You're welcome.
May I ask Director Ratz that question?
Director Ratz.
Thank you, Chair. I'm certain Corp Counsel.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ms. Takayasu.
Go ahead, David.
Thank you. I was just going to say I'm certain Corp Counsel would agree with us, but Ms. Tucker, correct me if I'm wrong, but indemnification does require council approval. We have a history over the years of the council adopting resolutions for that purpose. Thank you.
Did you want to add anything, Ms. Takayasu?
Yeah. If I could, I'm sorry about. I'm sorry. I appreciate your patience. Okay, so yes, what I would like to do is present the opportunity for council to consider this fully. My dogs. And that's in order to present perhaps confidential information that to allow the council to make, or the great committee to make a knowing decision on whether to provide representation and or indemnification.
Member Rollins Fernandez.
Mahalo, Chair. Mahalo, Corporation Counsel Takayasu, for your response. I guess my next question is a procedural question, and for Director Ross. Mm-hmm. Can we take up that discussion in committee without this resolution? Can we take it up as a 7B?
Director Ross?
Thank you, Chair. I think that would be a little hard to do. You wouldn't have in committee the context for a full discussion, perhaps without actually the reso in front of the body. That said, the rules do grant committees wide latitude on discussion of non-legislative matters within their jurisdiction. We've seen a lot of that recently. I think all the council members are familiar with that. So it's hard to say. We would probably recommend that if there's an intention to have that discussion in committee, to have the resolution there to provide the necessary context. But technically, I think if the committee chair were so inclined, you could probably have some sort of discussion on this topic without the resolution. So sorry to be a little equivocal, but just wanted to lay out the scenario. Thank you, Chair.
Mahalo, Director Rotz. Okay, so what I'm hearing is it's not illegal. And I would like to hear from Corporation Counsel the information to be presented. But I also understand the points from Member Poulton as well as the community. And so I think this might be a compromise where we, set aside the resolutions for now, and then in committee, take up the discussion, hear the presentation, and then at that time, we can then proceed with considering a resolution after hearing that. Mahalo, Chair.
Member Poulton.
Thank you. I would just ask, the investigations being done by the AG as well as the special counsels that we've just hired won't be finished at the time we take these up. And that's what I'm waiting for, is the independent investigations, not any information that the county is going to tell us, because there's not a lot of trust in the county right now. So they can give us their side of the story, but I'm holding out for the independent investigations.
Any more discussion? Member Hajans.
Thank you, Chair. I understand what Member Poulton is saying, and I don't disagree that we should probably wait to have these discussions until we have more information. I'm happy to have it referred to the committee and hold on to it until we have a better time. But if you want to file it, that's up to her as well.
Let's hear from everybody else. Member Vice Chair Sugimura.
I guess I'm wondering, Corp Counsel, what are the options then if
Speaking to the mic.
Oh, you can't hear me. What are the options, right? So if this is indemnifying process, and then hiring counsel to take care of it, what are the options if we don't accept this, or your comment on that?
Corp Counsel.
Well, the complaint's been filed and not served. So Mr. ANDAYA would not, if you file it and we are unable to provide representation for him, then he will, I guess we could be sued by Mr. ANDAYA for failure to represent him. And then we would handle that at some point. But I would recommend, at least for the decision whether or not to hire counsel, and that is counsel's choice, that we should at least hear that resolution, perhaps file the indemnification for later, like split them as two separate things, but at least address the issue of representation since a complaint has been filed.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Yeah, one more question to that. So, not an attorney, but because he was employed by the County of Maui, we still have some responsibility on this. Is that correct?
Because of his prior employment, that is why we are presenting it to council for its consideration.
Thank you.
Member Paulton.
You know, I hope that I wouldn't have to do this, but I feel like this is very unethical. On November 21st, way before this item was posted on this agenda, I don't know who else received this email from HERMAN and ANDAYA. Aloha, the Maui County Composite Squadron of the Civil Air Patrol will be having its 4th annual fundraising banquet on Friday, December 1, 2023, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Biniat Ani Filipino Community Center. A prime rib buffet dinner will be served and guests are encouraged to bring their own drinks. Entertainment will feature 2021 Nahoku Music Award nominee Kalo De Leon, and there will also be silent and live auctions as well. We would like to offer Mayor Bisson a VIP ticket valued at $100 to this event, which also includes a 5 p.m. commander's reception and upgraded seating. Please respond to this email if you have any questions, or you may also contact me at the number below. Please let me know if you are available and would like to attend. Mahalo, Lieutenant Colonel HERMAN and ANDAYA, Civil Air Patrol. Unethical. And then we have this on our agenda. Super unethical.
Any more discussion? Member Cook.
Thank you. I was invited to that by Pat Mulligan, who's part of the Civil Air Patrol tonight. So I understand it. I'm just saying that I didn't get it from the county or anybody. Got it from Pat Mulligan, who is one of the guys who does the wreaths across America and stuff. Just letting you know.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor. You made the motion to file, and then Member Johnson seconded it. So we need to vote on that. Pro Tem Kama, you want to come back? Any more discussion? That's the motion. Member Kiani Rollins Fernandez.
Hello, Chair. So I think all of us, how do I start this? All right. So we're all county officials. We all represent the county as a government that provides services to our community, critical services. So I think, we all understand our responsibility as government officials here on the council. I would like to have this discussion in committee. This hasn't been easy for any of us. I think that, it's, I'm constantly asked this question about how we make this right. And this is unprecedented, I think, from all of us to figure out. And I think that I support the motion. I want to have the discussion in committee. It's not illegal to have the discussion in committee without these resolutions. I'll just leave it at that, Chair.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I understand the discussion, and you're right. This has come up in many different ways, but I'm going to be voting against the motion because I believe that if unfortunately, the actions are, what we're hearing about. But I believe that he is or was at the time an employee of the county, and any of us could be put in that same situation where we took some kind of action and then this lawsuit comes up. But we were employees of the county. I think there's a responsibility that we have as policymakers. We cannot come from hate. We have to come from being rational to take this up. So I understand, what is being said and what was testified, and it's so sad. But I'm going to be voting against this, and I would like the two resolutions, 23-234 as well as 235, to move forward to the Great Committee so that we can have the appropriate discussion and get information and factual information that I don't have right now. I'm just at the really mercy of emotions because I don't have that, so I look for that so that I can have more a balanced opinion. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'll be voting no on the motion as well because the intent was to simply send this to committee to find out some facts. Right now, we don't have any. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. Member Rollins Fernandez.
Hello, Chair, for my third and final. It was my own position, but now I feel even stronger after hearing Member Sugimura's comments that I would urge my colleagues to vote no. And here's why. These resolutions right now take a position to indemnify and to represent Mr. ANDAYA before we're able to get all of the information. And we know that we can amend or vote down and disapprove, not adopt the resolutions. We know process and procedure. But not everyone in the community understands it to the level that we do. And so when they see that we're considering this position and we've moved it to committee, it's almost like the optics of it is we're taking a position that we're leaning toward doing this, which individuals may. But I would like for this council who represents our people, our community that are hurting right now, to look a little more at, to give as much of an appearance as in a neutral position as possible to communicate compassion to our community right now. And that's why I'm going to be voting in favor of the motion to file, and we'll have the discussion in committee. We already said we will. So I really don't understand why we would need to send these two resolutions to committee if we already said that we'll have the discussion in committee. We don't need them in committee. We don't need to look like we're taking a position on it, and we can be as neutral as possible. And so that's my more solidified position. Mahalo, Chair.
Any more discussion? Yes, Pro Tem Kama.
Thank you, Chair. When I was younger, really younger, I learned that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Now, unless that changed in the past 70 years, that will still maintain that. And so we don't know what we don't know. And we don't even know what we do know until we know what the facts are. So my sense is that I would not support this motion. Thank you, Chair.
Any more? Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. The fact that it's going to go to committee and this motion, passing this resolution, does not make a decision. And as our fellow council member, Ronas Fernandez, pointed out, we know that, but other people don't know that. But I think this is an opportunity for us to educate people if they mistakenly think that this vote is accepting and endorsing this, we can clarify, no, it's not. Tune into the Great Committee. There's going to be a discussion. The Great Committee will make a decision. It is not approved today. by this vote. And I think that it may be uncomfortable because people may not understand it. We have to explain it. But we have an opportunity to educate and elevate our community's ability to participate in this governance. And I'm learning, we can all learn. So I won't be supporting this, but I'm also, this is not like a thumbs up approval of the resolution. It is the passing of this to the committee to have an in-depth discussion, and it could go through 3 committee hearings. It's not necessarily one hearing in POW. So that's why I won't support this, but I think that we are all very much in alignment to wanting to have information, to wanting to have transparency, and to understanding the pain and fear and lack of trust that exists. And I'm hopefully that this body can work together to cultivate that in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Sinensi.
Just a clarifying question for Mr. Rott. So without the bill, we wouldn't be able to receive information from Corporation Counsel?
Thank you, Chair and Councilmember Sinensi. It would be up to the Corporation Council if they wanted to provide that information. And, you know, we've seen, I think, this term in other scenarios where committees have had 7B discussions where you have been able to get documents and other information and have a fairly robust discussion even without legislation to act on. Thank you, Chair.
So question, procedural question. So we could send the the content of this to committee, but not the bill?
The subject matter?
Subject matter, sorry.
Thank you, Chair and Councilmember Sinensi. That procedure wouldn't be necessary. The way Rule 7B is set up, that based on committee's jurisdiction as established by resolution at the start of the term, you can have an open-ended discussion on anything within that jurisdiction. You don't need a subject matter referral. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Anybody else? Okay, ready for the vote? Roll call.
Councilmember Pro Tempore Kama.
No.
Vice Chair Yukile Sugimura.
No.
Councilmember Paulton.
Aye.
Councilmember Gabe Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember County Rollins Fernandez.
Aye.
Councilmember Tom Cook.
No.
Councilmember Nohelani Hodgins.
Aye.
Councilmember Shane Sinensi.
Aye.
And Chair Alice Lee.
No.
Chair, you have 5 ayes, 4 noes. Motion carries.
Thank you, members.
Okay, so the motion is to file, and we invite Corporation Counsel to be in touch with our office to discuss a 7B presentation. Okay. Anything else on this? If not, let's see. Where are we on the agenda? Is it time to take lunch break?
Yeah.